we're going to move on into kind of some different stories to end this podcast. And this podcast, I'll be honest, may be a little bit longer since we do have additional stories that have gone on besides the tournament. And Brandon, the first one we got to get to is Oklahoma State has a new coach, where Stephen F. Austin's Brad Underwood not Frank Underwood, Brad Underwood has gone ahead and accepted a job to be the new coach of the OSU Cowboys next season.
You know, I was shocked, to be quite honest with you. I did not think that was going to, I didn't think that was going to be happening at all. I had no idea that Oklahoma State was even looking was even looking anywhere near Brad Underwood to replace their head coach. But Brad Underwood clearly shows that he has his team behind him. I think that, and it showed it with F. Austin in this tournament. I think that he's going to be a really good coach going to Oklahoma State, and hopefully he brings some success to them. But I think it's a real interesting move.
I really like the move though, because when I saw it happen, I already knew what I was going to say on the podcast. I already knew what I was going to be saying into this microphone, into your ears. And what this is going to be, I'm calling it right now. Oklahoma State is going to make the NCAA tournament next year. Because this, to me, is exactly the same thing as Shaka Smart going to Texas. Let me hit you with some numbers.
Yeah, let's hear them.
3 years at SFA. 32-3, 29-5, 28-6. Only lost one conference game. Yeah, you played in the Southland, but those are pretty good numbers. 53-1 overall in the Southland over his 3 years with the Lumberjacks. Those 3 years, round of 32, round of 64, and round of 32. So 3 tournament bids in 3 years, 2 second-round appearances. Shaka Smart in his last 3 years at VCU, 27-9, 26-9, 26-10, 2 second-round appearances, 2 first-round appearances, 1 second-round appearance. Had to flip-flop them there. You went to the tournament the last 3 years, just like Shaka Smart. The only difference, and I know I'm going to get someone in the comment section if I don't say this, Shaka Smart actually had 5 in a row. The first one was that one in 2010-2011 where his Rams went all the way to the Final Four. But if you look at the same sample size of the last 3 seasons before they went to the Big 12, 3 tournament appearances, had gotten out of the first round, gotten to the second round, and Texas this year went 20-3 and 11-7 in the Big 12. We could see similar numbers for Oklahoma State next season.
Hey, I've got something really interesting for you. How about this? Doug Gottlieb really wanted the Oklahoma State job.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did.
Why?
He said that, well, he's played with Oklahoma State. And
has he ever coached before?
No, I don't believe so. Unless there's someone out there that says yes he has. I don't believe he has, but he was pushing hard for the Oklahoma State job, did not get it.
Well, and I mean, here's the thing with that, and I'm looking at his Wikipedia page. He has no head coaching credentials. No head coaching credentials. So I mean,
but here's the thing though. But he was a player.
Yeah.
And I think that for some people that would resonate with some people and say, hey, he was a player. Doesn't matter. He was a player. He knows how that was.
But when you've been out of the game so long as a broadcaster, like really, like you've been out of the game. Shaka Smart. Shaka Smart. I'm using him as an example. He played at Kenyon College, wherever that is, from 95 to 99. Guess what he was doing the rest of 1999? He was an assistant coach and has been coaching since he got out of high school or out of college. So to me, that's why Doug Gottlieb didn't get the job, because he's been out of he's been out of the game. I mean, not out of the game to where he doesn't know what's going on, but he hasn't been coaching. And to coach, it's one of those things where if you've been out of the game for so long, it's really hard to get back in. It's really hard. It's kind of like I relate it to teaching in a way. When teachers leave and they go to a different field, sometimes getting back in, especially if you're an older person, sometimes it's really hard to get back into that profession. So I think Oklahoma State made the right choice in going Brad Underwood over Doug Gottlieb.
I just wanted to throw that out there to you and see what you thought.
Well, I mean, it was one of those things really he wanted the job.
And his brother's an assistant at Oregon State.
Okay, that's like saying my brother's a lawyer, so I could be a judge.
I'm just saying. I'm just letting you know.
Like, I get it. You played for the college, and it's like, you know what? I could kind of come home in a way, but at the same time, it's like, no, you can't. No, you can't. And the one thing I was going to throw out to go more on the Underwood side of things, Texas last year in Coach Barnes' last season, 8-10 in the Big 12, 20-14 overall. This year they were 20-12 overall, 11-7 in the conference. Oklahoma State, 3-15 in the conference this year. I'm going to say, bold prediction, bolder than the Texas last year because they were still a good team last year. I'm going to say Oklahoma gets double-digit wins in the conference next year. They get at least 10 wins with Brad Underwood at the helm. They're gonna be a play-in game, an 11-11 play-in game. That's what I'm seeing right now for Oklahoma State.
You're giving really high. Now, what was the record this past year?
This year, 12-20, 3-15 in the Big 12.
So you're saying that they're going to get double-digit wins?
I think so.
They
yes.
already got double-digit wins.
No, in the conference, I'm saying they're going to get 10 wins in the Big 12.
And they were 3-15, so they're going to get 7 more wins 7. This year.
Yeah. Well, next year because we're.
Yeah, I know.
I get what you're saying, but yeah, I think this is the kind of thing. It's kind of like how high I was on Shaka Smart when he came into the Longhorns. What did I say at the beginning of the season?
I don't know. You
Final
raved
Four.
over him.
Said Final Four.
I think you said championship.
No.
I think you had them in the championship.
I wasn't that crazy.
At one point, you might have.
I wasn't that crazy.
You must have had some weird Kool-Aid that day.
No, I was not that crazy. But no, this is, to me, I like the signing of Brad Underwood. I mean, in 3 seasons, I know I mentioned his only one loss in conference, but 89-14, 89 wins, 14 losses in 3 seasons with the Lumberjacks.
It's darn impressive.
Well, and it's one of those things where it's just, you know what?
Go into a tougher division.
Yeah,
go into a tougher conference.
Yeah, but I think it's the same. To me, I'm going to relate.
That's the same.
I'm going to relate it to Shaka Smart, where Shaka was up for the challenge. I think Brad Underwood is up for the challenge as well.
You can't really say though that it's the same. Going from SF Austin to going to Oklahoma State and playing the people that they play throughout the year. It's the same.
No. That's not. I'm saying it's similar from Shaka to Underwood because both mid-major, and now the coach is going from mid-major to major, basically, the power conferences. That's what I'm saying is the same. No, the Southland is nowhere near the same.
Yeah, I was kind of like, Ricky, I think you lost it, buddy.
No, I was saying it was similar between Shaka and Underwood going from like VCU to Texas and then SFA to Oklahoma State. That's what I was comparing.
Well, I don't know about 10 wins, but they'll be better.